Yes guys, how's it going? Welcome back to a new video. Elliot Anderson has made a plea to Eddie Howe and Newcastle United that he wants to stay with the club this upcoming season. Has been highly linked with a loan, but he has come out and says he wants to be here next season, and Eddie Howe has responded, so we will get into that in a minute. We have a bit of transfer news as well, obviously huge links to the Salzburg player Sesko. That might be on its head already. A bid made by Newcastle for Jack Harrison, we'll talk about that in a moment as well. Kevin Mbabu, the ex-Newcastle right back who, at the time, I was disappointed to see go, could well be heading back to the Premier League, and it looks like Matt Ritchie will be staying with the squad for next season. Before we get into today's video, guys, if you can, please get down and hit that subscribe button. We are on the daily upload right now. Again, loads of you guys are watching my videos every day, but still haven't hit that big red button. It really helps, but I will say thank you for all the support. It is massively appreciated. We will start off with Elliot Anderson, and we have been talking a lot about transfers at the minute, and we are going to talk about some more later in this video, so be sure to stick around. What we haven't talked as much on is Elliot Anderson, a player who had a fantastic time out on loan at Bristol Rovers last season. Obviously, it's a lower league, but was highly praised, scored 8 goals while he was down there, helped them get promotion to League One, and the general consensus has been that we will loan him out again this upcoming season, and you can understand why. We are currently trying to develop the team as much as possible with bringing players in. Elliot Anderson, still just 19 years old, needs to get as much first team experience as possible. Currently linked with a couple of championship sides as well, including West Brom and Sheffield Wednesday, and generally we've kind of thought that he will go out on loan. However, in the pre-season, he's looked good. He has looked good. He was probably one of the bright sparks out of the Mainz game when he came on, took control of the game, looked really good. Bruno went off, and I was worried because I thought this is the point when they take the ball off us and we lose possession. No, Elliot Anderson really held his own in there, and again, the jump from, playing down in the lower leagues up to the Premier League will be a big one. But who's to say that he can't learn off the likes of Bruno, Joe Linton? And again, he's an attacking player. We talk about needing to bring goals into this team. He went and got himself 8. He was nicknamed Billy Elliot while he was down at Bristol Rovers because he used to dance through tackles, which is very good. And he has now come out and spoken about this, saying that he wants to be here for the upcoming season. He said in his interview that he wants to be here. I want to force my way into the team, but I guess that's the club's decision. I've just got to work as hard as I can on the pitch and see what happens. I think it's been really good for me, just trying to fit into the team, work on the way they play and try to impress. So again, we talk about learning with better players in training. Obviously, you can't substitute first team football, especially at a young age, but there is still a case to be made here. I just want to try and carry on the momentum that he had on the loan spell. Obviously, it's a lot higher standard now, but I need to try and take what I did well into these pre-season games. So again, Elliot Anderson making his plea to Eddie Howe and Newcastle that he wants to stay with the club. He went on to basically talk about the loan deals and what could happen. He said, I'll explore that when it comes along, which I think is the best answer to give. Eddie Howe has taken everyone out on this pre-season tour. He's giving everyone a chance to show what they've got. And by all means, I think Anderson has been one of the bright sparks coming out of this pre-season. Obviously, it's still early days. We play Portugal not too far away, and then have 2 pre-seasons at the end of this month, but we're getting close to the start of the season, and Anderson has started 2 games, came on as a sub in a third, and has featured relatively heavily, to be honest, which is great, because Eddie Howe is getting a proper look at what he can do. Eddie Howe did respond to this and kind of said what you would expect Eddie Howe to say. He's a very clever man. He gives nothing away. He said that nothing's clear at this point. He's in and around the group. He's not looking out of place. In that company, that's saying something. Again, it really is. We've seen him in the pre-seasons. He's looked good. He took over from Bruno and held his own in that middle of the park. We'll do what's best for us and Elliot. When I say us, I mean the team and the club. I think if it feels he'll play minutes, we'll keep him. If he won't play and contribute, we'll loan him out. So again, it's very Eddie Howe. he knows what he's saying, but he's right. If he can be used this season, is it a potential option to, again, the trouble we're having this transfer window, could Elliot Anderson add to the squad? I am, after what I've seen in pre-season so far, and there is still some time to go, I've been impressed. I think he's looked good. And one thing to remember with Anderson as well is that he is 19. He's only 19, but he is 19, and that means he doesn't take up a space in the squad. You can use players under 21 without having to actually take up a space in the squad, so it's like having an extra man. There is obviously rules around how many players you can and can't loan out, but at the age of 19, I'm pretty sure you can just loan them whenever, to whoever. So if he does start up with the club for the start of the season, and it doesn't quite go the way we're planned, doesn't quite get the minutes, maybe we look to then loan him then. So let me know your thoughts on Elliot Anderson down below. I think it's a good one. I think it's a really interesting one to see what happens with a young local talent going into this new season. And again, someone who, for me, has been one of the bright sparks of the pre-season so far. Now for a bit of quick transfer news. Newcastle have been obviously in the market for a winger. One of those players we've been linked with is Jack Harrison from Leeds. We've spoken about him quite a lot now, so I won't go into it too much, but it's reported Newcastle did make an official bid for the player in the last 24 hours for around 17 million. It's understood that Newcastle are willing to go up to around 25 million. Leeds have said they want 35. So that one has come to a halt pretty quickly. It's not to say that Newcastle can't up their bid and maybe Leeds could lower their estimate of the player. So there's still some work to be done there if that one's going to go through. I wouldn't say it's dead in the water. I expect Newcastle probably will go back with a new bid. I just don't think it'll be an easy one. I don't think it'll be an easy one dealing with Leeds full stop. They've already let Rafinha go. They've already let Phillips go. In fairness, they have replaced them with a number of new players. They have gone out and spent the money, almost 100 million this summer window. In fairness, they did bring a lot of that in with the two players who went out. But to now let go of the third best player behind Rafinha and Phillips, you know, it's a big ask to try and steal him away, so we will have to see how we get on. And Sesko, the very tall striker from Salzburg, also 19 years old, Newcastle have been linked with. His agent was spotted down at Gino's on the quayside having a pizza and a pasta the other night. It's reported that Newcastle are interested in the player. And again, it's going back to... We've got Wilson, we've got Wood. Now we're looking for a young, upcoming striker that Sesko really fits the bill of. Unfortunately, there's a couple of murmurs coming out that he may take the decision to stay at Salzburg for another season, wants to have more first-team football. Again, that is just an issue we're going to have. People know for a fact they're coming in and going to play second fiddle to Callum Wilson. So it would just be the cup games, probably, or Callum Wilson gets injured, which might not happen. So it's a tough market for strikers generally. There just isn't many strikers about at the moment. So we'll have to see what happens on that. And a bit of news for another team. Kevin Mbabu, the ex-Newcastle right-back who we sold many moons ago, which I was disappointed with at the time. I thought he looked like a very decent full-back, is now on his way to Fulham for a fee of just 5 million. It's not too bad, is it? Again, I haven't seen him for a while, but I remember when he was a black and white shirt, he looked very good. So I wish him the best of luck. I mean, we've got Trippier these days, and even Crafty is pulling up a few trees, so I won't get too upset about that one. And in terms of players staying, I did a full video on my 25-man squad, which I will link at the end of this video. And obviously, Gale looks like he's on his way out. Clark's left, Hendricks left. We need to still let more players go to get it done. And that's not including players we hope to buy in the next month and a half. So how are we going to move players on? One of the players in question was Matt Ritchie. Now, Eddie Howe has said that he wants Matt Ritchie to be part of the squad going into the new season. He also said not too long ago that he wants Freddie Fernandez to be part of the squad going into the new season. We've given Paul Dummett an extra 1-year deal. I understand what Eddie Howe's doing. He's trying to hold a core of players together. I think Matt Ritchie specifically, he's got that long-term relationship with him from previous clubs. We all know how hard Matt Ritchie works, and I've no doubt he's pushing players on and training to really get them going. Matt Ritchie is... Eddie Howe actually says himself that Ritchie has been linked away due to being so far away from his family, and could he potentially want to move because of that reason? I don't know if Eddie Howe's actually planting a few little seeds as to why Ritchie might move on. He's almost like, I want to keep him, but if he wants to go, that's okay. Cough, cough. So I don't know the full detail. I would understand why Eddie Howe would want to keep him, but again, we have too many players as it is. If we bring in another 2 players, that's another 2 players who have to leave the squad. And obviously Eddie Howe has taken a lot of people away on pre-season to get a good look at them. Matt Ritchie wasn't on my list of players that I actually voted to potentially leave this summer, but he only has 1 year left on his deal. Could he potentially make the move now to a championship side, maybe even go to Bournemouth? The promoted side, go down there, get a new 2-3 year deal, get his career going that little bit longer. I can't imagine we would renew his contract at the end of this final year with us. Although he could wait out the year and then go and get himself a better deal somewhere. So we'll have to see. But Eddie Howe has come out and said he wants to keep Matt Ritchie going into the new season. Let me know your thoughts on that one as well. And I have to say, I'm very interested to hear your guys' thoughts on Elliot Anderson down in the comments. And if you have enjoyed this video, please hit a like, please subscribe if you haven't already, and be sure to check out my video I mentioned over here. I went through the full 25-man squad. I basically went through the 25 players I would keep in the current squad, and then the players I would let go. And I'm going to be honest, there's like 7 players we still have to try and let go of this summer. There's a lot of players in this squad, and if we're going to buy more, it's going to be really tough to make even more room, and we haven't really been linked with that many players going other than Gale and the ones who have already gone. So be sure to click here and check out that video as well. Alright guys, thanks for watching as always. Drop a like, subscribe. Catch you tomorrow for another Newcastle United video, and I'll catch you later.